Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great. So this is lecture 7 in English Language 101. So this lecture we're gonna discuss unit 7, people. So we're gonna discuss the following items. In vocabulary we have describing people. احنا هناخد في الفوكاب مجموعة من الكلمات متعلقة بوصف الأشخاص. Then in the listening part, okay, we have something about managing people. Okay, this is in the listening part في جزء الاستماع. Then in the language focus, we have past simple, so the negatives and the questions. So in the last session, we talked about the past simple, the positive sentences, okay, and the form, the use and the form, واستخدام الماضي البسيط وتكوين الماضي البسيط. So in this lecture we're gonna discuss the negatives and the questions. ازاي نعمل النفي من ال past simple الماضي البسيط وازاي نعمل ال questions. Okay, so الأسئلة والنفي. Okay, then we have in the reading passage we have something or a reading passage about Andrea Jong. Okay, هنشوف أندريا جونج يعني her role دورها في المجتمع. Then the language focus too, so we have question forms, okay, أشكال أسئلة. Then we have in the skills, okay, we have dealing with problems, التعامل مع المشكلات. Last thing here, we have the case study as usual. So we have something about tell us about it. So tell us about the problem. Okay, so هنلاقي عندنا مجموعة من الأشخاص بيتكلموا على their problems at work، المشاكل اللي بتواجههم في الشغل. And we have also some other people. Okay, so they suggest some solutions، بيكونوا بيقترحوا بعض الحلول لهذه المشاكل بتاعتهم. Okay, so uh, this is in the case study.
So let's start. In this page, we have an exercise A. Match the statements 1 to 10 to the adjectives from A to J. So here we have they, then we have 10 sentences. Like they like to spend time with other people. So we have definitions and the adjective. عندنا كده في العمود الأول حاجة زي definition تعريف أو معنى شيء، وفي العمود الثاني الادجectives اللي هي بتأدي نفس المعنى. So for example, they like to spend time with other people. They like to spend time with other people. لما يكون عندنا ناس بتحب انها تقضي وقت كتير مع الاشخاص. Okay, so they are الادجectives اللي ممكن نوصفهم بيها. So they are, which one from these? Yeah, H, they are sociable. Sociable. So sociable, okay. Someone who likes to spend time with other people. Sociable. Sociable. Okay. اجتماعي. Then two, they want to reach the top in their career. عايزين يوصلوا أعلى شيء في الوظيفة بتاعتهم، أعلى قمة القمة في الوظيفة بتاعتهم. So they are ambitious. Okay. يبقى لما عندنا حد he who wants to reach the top in his career or her career, so he is or she is ambitious. Ambitious. So ambitious بمعنى طموح. النون بتاعها ambition، الطموح نفسه ambition, and the adjective of ambition is ambitious. Ambitious طموح. Number three, have a lot of new ideas. They have a lot of new ideas. Okay, يكون عندهم أفكار جديدة دايما. So they are creative. Creative. So creative بمعنى شخص مبدع. Okay, when someone has a lot of new ideas or creative ideas, so he is creative. Number four, do what they promise to do. Do what they promise to do. Okay, الأشخاص اللي بيعملوا الأشياء اللي بيوعدوا بيها. So they are reliable so reliable يعني يا في الوعد أو صادق so he is reliable. Number 5, they are usually calm. الناس دايما هادئين calm, so they are definitely relaxed. Okay, so they are relaxed هادئين. Okay, then we have they spend a lot of time doing a good job. They spend a lot of time doing a good job. So they are hardworking. Okay, ناس بتحب الشغل جدا بتشتغل كتير. So they are hardworking. Number 7, they like to be on time. On time بمعنى في الوقت المحدد بالظبط. So on time, okay? So they are punctual. This one, okay? Punctual means, okay, حد دقيق في المواعيد بتاعته. So they come on time, they deliver their work on time, okay, and so on. Well, number 8, they encourage other people to work well. They encourage other people to work well. الناس بتشجع الأشخاص التانيين يشتغلوا كويس جدا. So ناس بيحفزوا الأشخاص، okay، التانيين بيشجعوهم. So they are motivating. So motivating بمعنى محمسين مشجعين لغيرهم. From the verb motivate يشجع أو يحمس أو يحفز. So motivating. Well, number 9, they are good at making things work. They are good at making things work. الناس اللي بتخلي الحاجات عملية أو تعمل أو كده. So they are practical. So practical means, okay, something شخص عملي, okay, practical. Last one, number 10 here, they like to do things for other people. They like to do things for other people, so they are helpful. الناس لما تكون بتحب تعمل أشياء للأشخاص الآخرين بتساعدهم, so they are helpful. Okay, يبقى احنا بنستخدم these adjectives like ambitious, creative, hardworking, motivating, and so on to what? Describe people. So this vocabulary related to describing people لما أنا أوصف بيها الأشخاص. So if I have, for example, someone who likes to spend time with other people, so I say this one is sociable, okay? If I have someone who likes to help other people to do things for them and so on, so he is or she is helpful, okay? So please focus on these adjectives, guys. Study them well, okay? Because they are very important. Well, so let's move to the next slide. Okay. Yeah. Use adjectives from exercise A to complete this human resources report. We have a human resources report here. Human resources بمعنى الموارد البشرية. Report بمعنى تقرير. So تقرير للموارد البشرية. So complete this human resources report. هنكمل تقرير الموارد البشرية ده using the adjectives in exercise A اللي هم adjectives اللي احنا لسه متكلمين عنهم دلوقتي اللي هم ambitious, creative, hardworking, motivating, helpful, and so on. Okay, so we're gonna use these adjectives to complete this human resources report here. Okay, so now you can pause the video, guys, and complete this report. Then you can check your answers with me. Well, so here Maria, okay, Maria is good in a team and she gets on well with her colleagues. Okay, so Maria هي بتكون يعني حد بيكون كويس في الفريق بتاعه. She gets on well with her colleagues. تتأقلم معهم تتماشى معهم بسرعة تتأقلم مع زمايلها their colleagues. She is extremely sociable. So sociable means, you know, شخص اجتماعي. Extremely here means like very, it's an adverb, okay? means very. extremely sociable يعني شخصية اجتماعية جدا. so extremely بنستخدمها لما نوصف حاجة تكون جدا. okay, like it's extremely hot today. okay, like it's very hot. so extremely. she is never late for meetings. فلما يكون حد أو شخص عندي ما بيتأخرش عن المواعيد بتاعته، حد on time. okay, في الوقت المحدد. so she is always punctual. punctual. okay, so punctual بمعنى دقيق في المواعيد بتاعته. she is very space. هنكمل عشان نعرف ايه السبيس دي هنحط فيها ايه. she always meets deadlines. okay, so when someone who always meets deadlines, so he is, yes, reliable. reliable موثوق فيه صادق and so on. okay, she always meets deadline. she is in the office at 8 a.m. okay, every day and usually stays late. هي بتكون في المكتب من 8 الصبح ودايما بتقعد متأخر. so she is very بتحب الشغل جدا. hard working. yes, hard working. her boss says this is very. المدير بتاعها بيقول this is very to others. so this is very motivating or helpful. okay, so this is very motivating to others. بتكون مشجعة محمسة محفزة لباقي الأشخاص أو بتساعدهم مساعدة لهم. so her colleagues have a lot of respect for her work and attitudes. زمايلها دايما بيكون عندهم احترام للعمل بتاعها والموقف أو الاتجاه بتاعها. she is also a very person with a lot of good ideas for the future of the company. So she has a lot of ideas, new good ideas, creative ideas. So she is very creative. So she is also a very creative person with a lot of good ideas for the future of the company. Let's move to the next slide. So we have here something about listening, managing people. Okay, to manage people. Manage means يدير إدارة. Okay, managing. So here, listen to Ross Pomeroy, a management consultant. Management consultant means مستشار إداري. Talks about the people she likes to work with. So هي في in this audio في الأوديو ده بتتكلم على الناس اللي بتحب تشتغل معاهم. The people she likes to work with. Okay, so listen to the first part of the interview. هنسمع للجزء الأول من المقابلة interview. Which adjectives from vocabulary exercise A does she mention? عايزين نعرف إيه ال adjectives اللي from exercise A ذكرتهم في in this audio. So if you remember exercise A, we have we discussed, the vocabulary like motivating, helpful, punctual, hardworking, creative, and so on. Okay, عايزين نعرف which from these adjectives she mentioned. أي من adjectives اللي احنا عملنا لهم discussion some minutes ago she mentioned in this audio. So please listen and write down the adjectives she mentions in this audio. So please listen.
Unit 7. People. Track 1.
What kind of people do you like to work with?
I like working with all kinds of people. In particular, I like working with people who are hardworking, and most of all, people who are reliable. That is, those that do what they say they are going to do, and on time. But I also like working with creative people, people who are willing to find new ways to solve problems. And I don't like people who give up too easily.
Okay, so listen again, please.
Unit 7. People. Track 1.
What kind of people do you like to work with?
I like working with all kinds of people. In particular, I like working with people who are hardworking.
Yeah, so she mentioned hardworking. So this is the first adjective, hardworking.
And most of all, people who are reliable. That is, those that do what
Then reliable. So hardworking and reliable.
they say they are going to do, and on time. But I also like working with creative people, people who are willing to find new ways to solve problems.
And creative people. Okay, so three adjectives here, hardworking, reliable, and creative. So she mentioned these three adjectives, hardworking, reliable, and creative. Well, let's move to the second or the next slide in exercise B, CD2. Listen to the second part of the interview and answer these questions. Okay? هنسمع كده دلوقتي للجزء الثاني من الانترفيو and please answer these questions, guys. The first question is, why did team members hide information from one bad manager? Why did team members hide information from one bad manager? لماذا اوكي team members اعضاء الفريق hide information بيخفوا المعلومات لما يكون عندهم bad manager مدير سيء. So why? The second question is, why were the team members not prepared to take any risks? Okay, ليه هم the team members أعضاء الفريق not prepared مش مجهزين مش مستعدين to take any risks يأخذوا أي من المخاطر. So please listen and answer these two questions.
Unit 7. People. Track 2.
Can you tell us about a bad manager you worked with?
Yes, I have worked with some bad managers. I can think of one manager who often criticised members of her team in front of others. And this meant that her team members hid information from her. It also meant that they were not prepared to take any risks, because they knew that if something went wrong, then she would not support them.
Okay, so number one, why did team members hide information from one bad manager? Okay, so the answer is because the manager often criticized members of the team in front of others. So المدير دايما بينتقد أعضاء الفريق اوكي أمام باقي الأشخاص أو باقي الفريق. So يعني for example, if someone did something wrong, so he criticized him or her in front of the others. Number two, why were the team members not prepared to take any risks? ليه هم مش جاهزين انهم ياخدوا اي risk? Okay, so because they knew that if something went wrong, the manager wouldn't support them. لانهم عارفين if something anything okay, if something went wrong, اي حاجة او اي خطأ سيحدث يعني, so the manager wouldn't support them. مش يعني المدير مش هي support them, مش هيساعدهم او يساندهم. So they prefer to not to take any risks. Now we have the final part of the interview. So please listen and complete the final part of the interview. Here we have an extract. So we're gonna listen and just fill in these gaps. Okay, we have some parts here. So please, okay, complete the filling or fill the missing parts here while you listen. So please listen.
Unit 7. People. Track 3.
Can you give an example of a really good manager?
Well, luckily, I have met and worked with several good managers. And these are people who are willing to delegate. That is, they will give a task to a team member to get on and complete. They are less involved in how a task is done, but they are clear about setting the objective and being clear about what results they expect. And a good manager will also give praise and feedback to a team member when they do a good job.
Okay, so now you can listen again, then we're gonna check the answers together.
Unit 7. People. Track 3.
Can you give an example of a really good manager?
Well, luckily, I have met and worked with several good managers. And these are people who are willing to delegate. That is, they will give a task to a team member to get on and complete. They are less involved in how a task is done, but they are clear about setting the objective and being clear about what results they expect. And a good manager will also give praise and feedback to a team member when they do a good job.
Okay, so the first one is task. Task means, مهمة, so they will give them a task, okay? So يديهم مهمة to complete it, يكملوها. They are less involved. So involved means, okay, ينغمس فيه أو يتورط في شيء أو يتدخل في شيء. So they are less involved in how task is done, but they are clear about setting the objective. So objective mean الهدف. Okay, so الأهداف. And being clear about what results they expect. So results means النتائج. So we have here results, نتائج, objective, أهداف. Then we'll also give praise. Praise means, okay, مدح أو ثناء. And feedback, in Arabic we say تغذية راجعة. So when you do a task, I'll give you the comments about what you did, what you did, for example. So the good things and the bad things, okay, to improve yourself. Okay. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Answer these questions in pairs. So number 1, what kind of people do you like working with? Number 2, what kind of people do you not like working with? So the first question, what kind of people do you like working with? ايه نوع الاشخاص اللي انت بتحب تشتغل معهم? And the next one, what kind of people do you not like working with? أو نوع الاشخاص اللي انت مش بتحب تشتغل معهم. So please answer these questions according to your opinion. على حسب رأيك انت. Just answer these 2 questions. So I will not answer them, but you answer these 2 questions according to your opinion. So it's up to you. Next slide. Yeah, here we have the language focus. We have the past simple, negatives, and questions. So guys, if you remember last lecture, we talked about past simple tense, the use of the past simple, and the form of the past simple. اتكلمنا على استخدام the use of the past simple, استخدام الماضي البسيط, and the form of the past simple, وتكوين الماضي البسيط. And we said that the past simple, okay, the use of the past simple, استخدامه, we use it to talk about completed actions in the past, okay? So بنستخدمه عشان نعبر عن أحداث انتهت خلاص، حدثت وانتهت في الماضي. Like for example, when I say, I visited my uncle last Friday, okay, last week. So something that's happened and finished in the past, okay? I ate pizza last night. So خلاص أنا أكلت pizza last night, something that happened and finished, okay? وانتهى الموضوع. Well, so we talk about something that happened and finished or completed actions in the past. This is the use, ده الاستخدام. Then we talked about the form, التكوين بتاعه. قلنا we have two kinds of verbs, نوعين من الأفعال, regular verbs and irregular verbs. So for the regular verbs, الأفعال المنتظمة, so we just add d or ed to the verb, okay? بنضيف مثلا d أو ed خلاص ويبقى إيه كده الماضي بتاعنا تتكون. For example, when I say the verb play, so I add ed. بنضيف ed, so we say played, okay? You know, clean, we add ed also, so cleaned. Well, then we have for example the verb move. So the move ends in e, in the letter e, so we just add d to the verb, so we say moved. This is for the regular verbs. What about the irregular verbs, الأفعال الغير منتظمة? So we said قلنا إنه بنجيب التصريف الثاني من الفعل. Like for example, the verb speak. So the past of speak is spoke. Okay. Leave, left. Okay. Do, did. Okay. Like that. So بنجيب التصريف الثاني من الفعل. So ده تكوينه ببساطة. Well, today we're gonna discuss the negatives and questions. ازاي نعمل negatives من النفي من الماضي البسيط وازاي نعمل questions. So in the screen, for negatives and questions in the past simple, we use the auxiliary did. Auxiliary means اللي هو الفعل المساعد. بنسميه في ال British English auxiliary and in the American English helping verbs. Okay, so helping verbs أفعال مساعدة في اللغة في الإنجليزي الأمريكي, and in the British we say auxiliary verb. So we use the auxiliary verb did or didn't. So did in the questions and didn't in the negative. And the infinitive form of the verb. So after did or didn't بنحط الفعل في الانفينيتيف. يبقى again بعد did أو didn't بجيب الفعل في المصدر. So we don't add anything to the verb. ما بنضيفلوش أي حاجة. Look at these examples, guys. So here we have you didn't like your colleagues. لو الجملة مثبتة هقول you like your colleagues or your colleague. Well, so you like your colleague. طيب like أنا عايز أنفي وبستخدم didn't, بستخدم did not. So بجيب بعدها الverb in the infinitive like here. So you didn't like your colleagues. Okay, so did وبعدها الverb in the infinitive. Well, so another example, I will say, for example, you didn't eat pizza yesterday. You didn't eat pizza. Okay, so something about he or she, for example, she didn't play tennis. هي كان أصلا في البوزيتيف لما يكون عندي مثبتة هقول she plays she played sorry in the past she played خلاص ماضي she played football yesterday. Okay, طيب أنا عايز فيها أقول she didn't play she played. So after that did we put the verb in the infinitive في المصدر. Look here at the second example. Did he leave the company? So this is a question. Did he leave the company? So did, then the subject, then the verb in the infinitive. يبقى لما يكون عندي سؤال اللي هو yes or no question ببدأ بدid. خلاص؟ يبقى ببدأ بدid وبعد كده الفاعل وبعد كده الفاعل. Did he leave the company? Did she eat pizza yesterday? Okay, like that. Did you like your colleague? Well, so did, then the subject فاعل, then the verb in the infinitive في المصدر. Next example, why did he leave the company? طيب, first one, did he leave the company بنسميه yes or no question because the answer is yes or no. So did he leave the company? Say, so the answer is yes, he is, or no, he is. Yes, he did, or no, he didn't. Did he leave the company? Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Well, we have another kind of questions اللي بنسميه yes بنسميه WH questions. WH questions, so the question that starts in WH. أي question بيبدأ ب WH like which, when, where, why, who, and so on. Okay, so طيب ال WH questions لما أنا بسأل سؤال WH questions لازم الإجابة تكون full answer، ما ينفعش تكون yes or no. يعني احنا في did قلنا did he leave the company? Yes he did, or no he didn't. But here when I say why did he leave the company? Why did he leave the company? So I give a reason, okay? I give a full answer. Why did he leave the company? I can say because he was very sick. Okay? So this. So again, طب تكوينه ايه؟ التكوين why بجيب ال WH question او الword بتاع WH question وبعد كده نفس التكوين ده اللي هو did والsubject والverb. So هنا why او which او when او where او اي حاجه من دول، بعد كده did والsubject والverb في الانفينيتيف اهو نفس التكوين اللي هنا بس بنضيف why او which او when او where قبلهم. So why did he leave the company? Again, WH question, then did, then the subject like he, she, it, Ahmed, the teacher, okay, the students, okay, الفاعل. بعد كده leave I mean the verb in the infinitive، الفعل في المصدر. اوكي، يبقى ما بنضيفش اي حاجه للverb in the in this case. يبقى after did و didn't and so on we put the verb in the infinitive. okay. Note the form with the verb to be. طيب اتكلمنا على افعال like leave, like eat and so on. But here we have something about the verb to be. Verb to be احنا قلنا قبل كده انه في ال present بنصرف verb to be as am, is and are. am و is و are على حسب لو I am، لو he و she و it is، لو you we they are. طيب verb to be في ال past، في ال past. okay. So verb to be in the past بتكون was and were. Verb to be في ال past was and were. Was لما يكون عندي a subject singular we have a singular subject فاعل مفرد، and were when we have this the plural subject. When we have a plural subject فاعل جمع. okay. So look at these examples. He wasn't good at his job. He wasn't good at his job. اوكي. طب في الإثبات الجملة دي لو هي مثبتة هتبقى he was good at his job. He was good at his job. اوكي. طيب في النفي بحط not، بس بحط اللي was أو were not. So he was not، أختصرها was not تبقى wasn't. اوكي. يبقى he wasn't good at his job. طيب ليه قلنا was أو wasn't مش were؟ عشان ال he هنا singular. he singular. اوكي مفرد. اوكي فبستخدم was. So he was good at his job في الإثبات. في النفي he wasn't good at his job بضيف ال not. اوكي. I can say he was not، he wasn't. اوكي. طيب they، طب بتاع الجمع هنا تبقى ناخد were. اوكي. So they were happy at work في الإثبات. They weren't happy at work في النفي. So we just add اللي هو not أو weren't. اوكي. well. طب دول في النفي. لو انا عايز اعمل question من verb to be في الباست في الماضي يبقى ببدا نفس اللي هي was و were اللي عندي دي ببدا بيها السؤال. was again مع المفرد و were مع الجمع، بس ببدا بيهم السؤال يبقوا في اول السؤال. So was Dan efficient؟ was Dan efficient ذو كفاءة. اوكي. was John، was أحمد، was اوكي. So بجيب was، بجيب الفاعل وبعد كده بكمل لو في adjective أو كده. okay. Was he happy؟ okay. Was he at school؟ was he good؟ was she clever؟ okay. So was و subject وبكمل مثلا لو تكملت الجملة لو فيها adjective أو anything. اوكي. طيب لو جمع، لو انا عندي الفاعل هو بدل ما دان او جون او شي او احمد، عندي جمع they for example، يبقى ابدا was ولا were؟ yes guys were. So I say were they efficient, were they good, were they happy, were they at the party yesterday, were they at school yesterday. Well يبقى ببدأ was أو were. So طبعا الانسر زي ما قلنا الحاجات دي اسمها yes or no question، فالانسر بتكون لما اقول مثلا was Dan efficient هقول yes or no. okay yes مثلا، او no. was أحمد efficient؟ yes he was, or no he wasn't. okay yes he was, or no he wasn't. well were they efficient؟ yes they were, no they weren't. well طيب لو انا عايز اعمل question اللي بنسميه ال WH question اللي بنجيب ليه full answer. So I say okay when were they, like when were they in France, when were they in France. okay طيب نفس التكوين بتاع الاولاني هو was او were، هو where والسبجكت وبنكمل، بيبدأ ب where وبعد كده subject وبكمل، بجيب قبلهم when او what او when او كده زي ما حصل في المثال الاولاني اللي هنا. نفس القصة هنا. so when were they in France، when were they in France، متى هم كانوا في فرنسا. so لو انا هدي اجابه هقول they were in France last month، هم كانوا في فرنسا الشهر الماضي. so I give full answer here. okay so when were وبعد كده was or were، يعني هنجيب ال WH question like when which why and so on where، وبعد كده بجيب was أو were، وبعد كده الفاعل السبجكت like they he أحمد جون فريدة students، وبعد كده بكمل الجملة. again ال question word WH question word like then it was أو were then subject. well okay so the past simple and negative and the questions again. so past simple في negative statements we use did not أو didn't زي ما قلنا كده في السلايد اللي فات. اوكي زي ما قلنا في السلايد اللي فات بنستخدم did not اللي هي didn't في اختصارها والانفينيتيف زي ما قلنا. هناخد بعض الامثله هنا. so without to make negative ما بحطش to، ما بحطش مثلا to هو الانفينيتيف بس. اوكي هناخد some examples عشان بس تكونوا فاهمين اكتر. so I went by train، I went by train دي جمله في الباست سيمبل في الماضي اهو، اللي هي كانت جو في المضارع خليناها في الماضي went. so I went by train دي جملة مثبتة positive. اوكي طيب عايز انفيها، يبقى احنا زي ما قلنا هنستخدم did not او didn't وبعدها الانفينيتيف right. so I didn't go by train، I didn't go by، يبقى didn't وبعد كده went دي برجعها في المصدر هتبقى go. so I didn't go by train وما بحطش to ولا حاجة، بقولش I didn't go to by train، هي didn't. اوكي طيب she saw you، she saw you يبقى هنقول she didn't وبجيب saw دي في المصدر تاني ارجعها في المصدر. so she didn't see you. they had a very good time، they had كان التصريف التاني من have، had a very good time. so في النيجاتيف هقول they didn't have، they didn't have a very good time. في ال questions we make questions about the past زي ما قلنا برضو بس لتأكيد تاني بنستخدم did وممكن نستخدم didn't by the way هقول لكم ازاي، وبعد كده السبجكت وبعد كده الverb في الانفينيتيف like او ببدأ ب did so did بعد كده subject you بعد كده الverb في الانفينيتيف check. did you check the figures، did you go to school yesterday, did you eat pizza, did you have your lunch. so did she leave her job، يبقى did بعد كده subject بعد كده الverb في infinitive. Did they have a good time? Did they have a good time? So did they have a good time? So how did subject they have الverb في infinitive. طب انا ممكن ابدا ب didn't، ما didn't بنستخدمها في النفي، ممكن استخدمها في السؤال yes اللي هو سؤال كده منفي like didn't Paul tell you؟ هو بول ما قالكش ما اخبركش اوكي you know so didn't نفس القصه نفس التكوين بدل did بس هحط didn't وخلاص. you didn't والسبجكت بعدها وبعدها الverb in the infinitive. didn't Paul tell you؟ okay didn't you go to the party yesterday? Okay. Didn't you leave your school? هو انت ما سبتش مدرستك؟ okay and so on. So didn't ده سؤال منفي. طيب again the question with be. To make question with verb to be we put the subject after the verb. بناخد السبجكت بعد الفعل يبقى بنبدأ بالفعل زي ما قلنا لسه قايلين من شوية الكلام ده بنشرحه تاني اهو. بنستخدم was أو were زي ما قلنا was مع المفرد were مع الجمع. So was وبعد كده السبجكت were وبعد كده السبجكت. Was he at the meeting? Were there any messages؟ يبقى were و any messages okay السبجكت اهو. Were there any messages for me؟ Were they please ادي were والسبجكت and so on. Now we have an exercise. So, and it's a very simple exercise, guys. So put these words in the right order to make sentences about problems at work. هو الاكسرسايز ده على المشاكل في الشغل. Just المطلوب منك كله just order them. Okay, rearrange, you know, the deadlines, the projects weren't for realistic. فأنا بعمل بس ترتيب للكلمات دي عشان أطلع جملة صحيحة. وطبعا الكلمات دي كلها في الباست سمبل، الجمل كلها دي في الباست سمبل. Okay, so the deadlines هبدأ بالdeadlines. So the deadlines for the project weren't realistic. The deadline for the projects weren't realistic. So now you can pause the video and do this exercise, guys. Okay, let's do it together. So most people, the office didn't leave until 8 p.m. Yeah, so we're gonna start by most people. So most people didn't leave the office until 8 p.m. A manager good wasn't she? So we're gonna start by she. She wasn't a good manager. She wasn't a good manager. On time, start meetings didn't. So we're gonna start by meetings. So meeting didn't start on time. Meetings didn't start on time. Didn't she to motivate know the staff how? So let's start by she. So she didn't know how to motivate the staff. She didn't know how to motivate the staff. هي مش عارفة ازاي تحفز تشجع اوكي الستاف اللي هم طاقم العمل، يعني بنقول عليهم طاقم العمل او اعضاء مثلا هيئة التدريس في لو في مدرسة او في الجامعة، طاقم العمل في شركة. So the staff. In the American accent we say staff. British accent we say staff. Okay, like class and class. Okay, so exercise C, correct one mistake in each line of this message. Okay, so here we have in every line we have one mistake. So please correct the mistake or find the mistake and correct it. هنوجد الخطأ هنا ونصححه. نحط like Maris, I'm sorry, I'm having a bad day. I didn't send the report. So what didn't send? So didn't send. Is it correct? No, because after didn't احنا قلنا بعد didn't لازم الفعل يكون في الانفينيتيف في المصدر، والمصدر بتاع sent اللي هي send. So didn't send the report out. And I not check the figures. I not check the figures لما عايز أنفي كده يبقى أقول بنستخدم didn't صح؟ يبقى نعمل هنا ده خطأ وأقول I didn't check the figures. I didn't get to the bank on time and I didn't phone. I didn't phone. Is it correct? No, because after didn't, the verb in the infinitive, so I didn't phone the suppliers. I tried to call you this morning, but you not answer. So we use didn't, right? So you didn't answer. You didn't answer. I think I need to go home. Complete these questions with did, was, or were. يبقى بس اللي هنعمله في الاكسرسايز ده انه هنكمل الاكسرسايز using was, were أو did. طيب, the first one, was he an efficient manager? Was he an efficient manager? طب number two, when you born. When you born. اوكي هنا مفيش كده فعل عشان استخدم did او كده مفيش فعل تاني، مفيش فعل في الجملة عشان استخدم did. So هستخدم was أو were على حسب. طب في you يبقى you بتاخد was ولا were؟ Yes, were. When were you born? I was born in April 2000, for example, 11. Okay. When Anya start to work for IBM. هنا عندي جملة كاملة بس ناقصة اللي هي الفعل المساعد. يبقى أنا عندي فعل رئيسي في الجملة أهو، عايز الفعل المساعد اللي هو did. So when did Anya start to work for IBM? Why Marcus change. Also عندي الفعل الرئيسي هنا في الجملة. So هستخدم الفعل المساعد did. Why did Marcus change job? Where your next job? Your next job. Okay. هنا ما عنديش فعل رئيسي في الجملة. Okay. So هستخدم was أو were. طيب next job. هي job دي مفرد ولا جمع؟ Singular. Yeah, it's singular. So we use was or were. We use was with singular. So where was your next job? Well, okay. So now we have something, also about the questions. Read the extract below. نقرأ الفقرة اللي تحت دي. Then write a question using each of the words from the box. طيب عندي هنا مجموعة من الكلمات في البوكس اللي هو why، اللي هو يعني بتوع الأسئلة زي why, how long, what, when and where. اللي هنعمله نحط الكلمات دي أو الحاجات دي في جمل مستخدمين الاكستراكت دي. اوكي اللي هي الفقرة دي. So Daniel grew up in Geneva. تعالى نقرأ كده مع بعض this extract please. So Daniel grew up in Geneva. كبرت ترعرعت في جنيفا. خلي بالنا ده في الباست سيمبل. اوكي. She studied engineering at university in Paris. درست هندسة في جامعة في باريس. Then she worked for Renault for 4 years. هي اشتغلت في رينولد لمدة 4 سنوات from 2004 until 2008. She left Renault because she wanted to do an MBA. هي تركت رينولد because عشان هي كانت عايزة تعمل MBA. She did an MBA at Harvard Business School. وعملت ال MBA في السكول بتاعت Harvard Business in 2009. Her next job was with GE. وكانت الوظيفة اللي بعد كده مع GE. طيب أنا عايز أستخدم again الكلمات دي using معلومات من this extract. So for example تعال نقول where. ناخد where دي كده. So where did هي دانيال grew up in Geneva صح؟ أقول where وبعد كده أقول Daniel. Where did Daniel grow up? Where did Daniel grow up? هي أين كبرت أو نمت أو ترعرعت أو كده تربت فين؟ So يبقى بنستخدم دي وبستخدم حاجات من المعلومات دي. أوكي بس بحط الفيرب على حسب التكوين. عندي مثلا هنا دانيال grew up in Geneva. لما نحطها في السؤال باستخدام did برجع الverb في الانفينيتيف. So where did Daniel grow up? So now you can pause the video, guys, and please make questions like that, like this one. Okay. Huh. Use why. So why did she leave Renault? Why did she leave Renault? Hey, she left Renault because, okay, so yeah, this is the answer. She left Renault because she wanted to do an MBA. يبقى أنا ممكن أعمل لها سؤال أقول why did she leave? Left or leave? Leave بعد did. Okay, why did she leave Renault? طب how long? So how long was she at Renault? Or how long did she stay at Renault? She worked for Renault for 4 years. نستخدم what? What did she study at university? What did she study at university? She studied engineering at university in Paris. نستخدم when. When did she join Renault? امتى التحقت برينولت? So in 2004. And نستخدم where آخر حاجة. Where did she grow up? So this is a question. So she grew up in Geneva. It's very easy, right? Okay, so now we have a reading passage. So let's go to reading. So here we have a reading passage about Andrea Jung. Before you read the article below, discuss these questions. يبقى احنا قبل ما نقرا الارticle, please guys answer these two questions. Number one, what famous business women do you know? مين من السيدات المشهورين انت تعرفهم؟ سيدات الأعمال المشهورين. And what qualities do you need to be a successful business executive? Okay, عشان تبقى مدير تنفيذي ناجح. Okay, أو صاحب عمل أو رئيس تنفيذي ناجح. Okay, إيه الكواليتيز؟ إيه المواصفات اللي أنت محتاجها؟ So you can answer these two questions according to your perspective. يعني على حسب your opinion, your perspective. كل شخص فيكم هيجاوب السؤال ده زي ما هو شايف. Okay, so according to your opinion. Well, okay, so let's move to the next slide. Yeah, here we have the article. Okay, the article itself, women at the top, نساء في القمة. Andrea Jung. واخدين مثال عن Andrea Jung. Okay, so now you can read this article. Then okay, we will answer some questions related to this article. هنقرا كده الارتيكل, so you can pause the video now, read the article very well, guys, because we have some questions related to this article. You will answer them. So please pause the video now and read the article. Okay, so I'll read the article with you. So women at the top, so Andrea Jung. Okay, I'll read some lines with you. So women at the top, نساء في القمة. بناخد مثال على Andrea Jung. So in 2011, so we have Andrea Jung celebrated 12 years as chief executive of Avon Products. Okay, so Andrea Jung بتحتفل ب 12 سنة كرئيس تنفيذي chief executive of Avon Products, منتجات Avon. I think you know Avon, all of you. It's a big job. دي كانت وظيفة كبيرة بالنسبة لها. Avon sells cosmetics, بتبيع اللي هي مستحضرات التجميل door to door من الباب للباب. So in more than 120 countries, في أكثر من 120 دولة. It has 6.2 million sales representatives. عندها يعني تقريبا 6 مليون و 6 مليون و200 ألف مليون representative sales representatives لو مندوب المبيعات, مناديب المبيعات, and a billion customers, وعندها مليار عميل. It sells for lipsticks. It sells for lipsticks and 190 mascaras every second. يبقى في كل ثانية every second الشركة دي بتبيع 4 lipsticks اللي هو الأحمر الشفاه, and 190 mass cars every second في كل ثانية. Jung was born in Toronto to Chinese immigrant parents. هي ولدت في تورنتو لأسرة مهاجرة صينية، أو يعني كان أبوين وأب وأم يعني صينيين مهاجرين. Her parents moved to the US when she was 2. كان عمرها سنتين لما هم انتقلوا إلى US الولايات المتحدة to get a better education for their children، عشان يحصلوا على تعليم أفضل لأطفالهم. She grew up in Massachusetts, okay, and graduated from Princeton. يعني يعني التحقت بعد كده ب Princeton University. So again, she grew up in Massachusetts. Massachusetts, this is a state in the US. ده ولاية في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية اسمها Massachusetts. So she grew up، نمت ترعرعت أو كبرت في Massachusetts and graduated from Princeton، وتخرجت من جامعة Princeton. She speaks fluent Mandarin. Okay، بتتكلم fluent fluent بمعنى طبعا طليقة فيه، لما أكون fluent في الإنجليش سو أنا طليق في الإنجليش. ودي الماندرين سو في لغة يعني، وهي لغة يعني في الماندرين الصينية، وهي لغات يتحدث بها الناس اللي هي في الصين، يعني في خصوصا ممكن في المناطق الشمالية أو والغربية والجنوبية كمان، الجنوبية الغربية. دي الماندرين language. So my parents were important in forming my views about leadership. الكلام ده كلام أندريا جونغ، هي بتتكلم عن نفسها بتقول يعني والدي كانوا مهمين جدا في تكوين أو تشكيل my views اللي هي رؤيتي أو أفكاري أو يعني الرؤية بتاعتي about leadership عن القيادة. So she says، هي قالت كده determination is a strong determination، الوجه أو التحدي أو الإصرار أو كده is a strong quality in Chinese culture في الثقافة الصينية. اوكي، صفة مهمة جدا، quality مهمة جدا. In her early career، في بداية حياتها كده أو في المهنية she had a job that wasn't interesting، كان معاها job وظيفة ما كانتش شيقة بالنسبة لها. She told her parents she told her parents she didn't like the job and wanted to quit. ما كانتش بتحب الوظيفة وعايزة quit to leave the job، عايزة تسيب الشغل. quit they said، قالوا لها quit سيب الشغل. the Chinese don't quit، قالوا لها الناس الصينيين ما بيسيبوش الشغل. they don't quit they don't leave. okay، you learn more from bad than good experiences، بتعلمي أكتر من الخبرات السيئة أفضل من الخبرات الكويسة. that's how you grow، وده إزاي بتكبري. مثلا هتكبري في فكرك، تنمو في أفكارك أو أفكارك تنمو. Jung joined Avon in 1994، وهي التحقت بعد كده بإيفون اللي بتاعت مستحضرات التجميل في 1994. 4 years later she became Avon's first female CEO. اوكي، كانت أول رئيس تنفيذي لإيفون، أول رئيس سيدة يعني، اوكي، تنفيذي لإيفون. اوكي، CEO ده اختصار طبعا اللي هو Chief Executive Officer، اللي هو رئيس تنفيذي. At that time the company had revenues of $4 billion. revenues بمعنى إيرادات أو عائدات ل 4 مليار دولار. اوكي، so billion اللي هو بي ان اللي هي البليون اللي احنا خدناها من شوية دي billion. billion بمعنى مليار. اوكي guys، so billion مليار، ومليون مليون. اوكي، مليون and billion مليار. so 4 مليار دولار. today its revenues العائدات بتاعتها حاليا اليوم are more than 10 billion dollars، أكثر من 10 مليار دولار. Avon is known as the company for women. okay، is known as the company for women. كأنها الشركة كده للسيدات، أو هي بتحب تشغل السيدات كتير في الشركة كده. Most of Avon's representatives are women، معظم المندوبين من السيدات. About half the manager and 4 out of the 9 members of Avon's board are women. 4 من نص تقريبا المانجرز سيدات، ونص ايفنز بورد برضو، او 4 من الايفنز بورد من ال9 women سيدات. Jung said there are good business reasons for management team with a mix of men and women. عندها يعني أسباب عملية في العمل for management teams اللي هو فريق الإدارة بيكون ميكس خليط بين المن and women. in mixed teams اللي هي mixed teams هيكون فيها men and women. communication and decision making are better. بيكون التواصل وصناعة القرار decision making صناعة القرار بتكون أفضل. famous for her long black hair. طب هي مشهورة بإيه؟ هي long black hair. if you see in the picture here, she has long black hair. pearl, okay, and pearl necklace, okay, والعقد بتاعها, and her passion, you know when I say passion and passionate. passion بمعنى شغف, okay. I'm passionate about teaching. أنا شغوف بالتدريس, okay. passionate the adjective. passion الشغف, okay. English is my passion. الإنجليزي ده شغفي, okay. So her passion for Avon, شغفها ب Avon الشركة بتاعتها مستحضرات تجميل. Jung is one of the world's top business leaders. So هي من يعني واحدة من أفضل القادة, okay. business leaders, top على القمة كمان, okay. business leaders. She is also one on the board of GE and Apple. كمان غير Avon عندها هي on the board of شركتين كمان غير Avon. يبقى هي on the board of GE, شركة اسمها GE, وApple وشركة Apple. يبقى هي عندها Avon وكمان في شغالة في Avon, وهي on the board of two other companies اللي هما GE and Apple. Now I think the article is easy. You understood it very well now. So let's go to the question. Here we have Andrea Jung, some information about her, like born in, هنشوف هي ولدت فين, grew up, work, education, appearance بتاعها, الكومباني شغالة فيها, professional achievements اللي هي الإنجازات المهنية بتاعتها. So as you read the article, make a quick notes to complete the profile of Andrea Jung on the left. وانت بتقرأ الارتيكل كده ممكن to write down these to write down some information about Andrea Jung. So born in, now you read the article I think. So born in هي ولدت فين؟ تورنتو كندا. لو احنا رحنا للارتيكل هنلاقي انها ولدت في تورنتو كندا. You can back to the article guys if you want. طيب then she grew up where? Yes, Massachusetts USA. كانت في ماساتشوستس في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. education التعليم بتاعها في Princeton University في اليو اس اي كانت in engineering. appearance Princeton University sorry في الولايات في اليو اس اي في الولايات المتحدة. الappearance هي بتلبس ايه ها؟ long black hair, always wears a pearl necklace. company الشركة اللي شغالة فيها عندنا Avon Products, it's a global cosmetics company شركة عالمية في المستحضرات التجميل. professional achievements اللي هي الإنجازات المهنية بتاعتها. so became a CEO of Avon in 1999, more than 12 years as CEO, أكتر من 12 سنة قاعدة CEO رئيس تنفيذي, ودي مدة كبيرة طبعا. on the board of Apple and GE. في Apple كمان عندها in the board of two other companies اللي هم Apple and GE. Now exercise C, decide whether these statements are true or false. Correct the false ones. So please read these sentences, okay, and decide if they are true or false. Okay, number one, Avon sells cosmetics through shops. هي بتبيع cosmetics through shops. لو احنا اخدنا في اول الباراجراف كده هنلاقيها door to door, so it's false. It's a direct sales company. It sells door to door. Andrea Jung speaks English and Chinese. Yes, okay. She grew up, okay, for example, in where يعني هي كانت سافرت من اتربت في مكان ولدت في طبعا ليها parents Chinese وسافرت الولايات المتحدة فهي بتتكلم Chinese بتتكلم English and it's true. Around 50% of managers at Avon are women. 50% من managers are women. Yes, true. احنا قلنا half of the management are women. Avon has an all-female board. كل board كان female. No. احنا قلنا just كان في 9 في البورد 9 4 منهم بس اللي هم female. So of the 9 board members 4 are women. Number 5. Jung thinks all women management team make the best decision. All women management teams make the best decision. No, wrong, because she thinks teams with a mix of men and women make the best decisions. Number 6. She is on the boards of 2 other companies. Yes, اللي هم قلنا عليهم Apple and GE. Okay. Now in exercise number D, find words or phrases in the article with these meanings. يبقى عندي مجموعة من المعاني هنا مثلا people who sells company products. هروح الارتكل اجيب كلمة واحدة مثلا او كلمتين بيدوا نفس المعنى. So people who sell a company's products. الناس اللي بتبيع المنتجات وكده اللي هم مندوبين المبيعات sales representatives. When you decide to do something and do not let anything stop you, determination, huh? Yes, your determination. Leave a job without finishing it, to leave a job. Yes, to quit. All the money that a company receives regularly, revenues. A very strong linking for something, رابط قوي لشيء اللي هو الباشن لما يكون عندي شغف. Now let's move to question forms. Okay, من modal verbs verb to be. We form question which can be answered with yes or no in 2 ways. With be or a modal verb. Okay, like be عندي verb to be احنا قلنا في present بيكون am و is و are في past was were. طب الموديل like can. Okay, طيب هدي مثال هنا اقول he is ambitious. هو راجل طموح. He is ambitious. عايز اعمل سؤال عليه. He is ambitious دي في past ولا في present guys؟ is present. yeah. طب اعمل سؤال بقى اجيب is في الاول بس هنا كده تبقى is he ambitious سهله جدا. بجيب بس is في اول الجمله وخلاص كده. So is he ambitious؟ طب لو قلت he was ambitious was في الباست بجيب برضو was في اول السؤال. Was he ambitious؟ okay. So is he ambitious؟ was he ambitious؟ طيب لو انا عايز استخدم الماضي like can. She can see us now. يبقى بجيب can في الاول. Can she see us now؟ Can she see us now؟ okay. يبقى ببدأ بكان. With all other verbs form of do or other auxiliary. طب لو عندي verbs غير اللي هو verb to be او غير المودل اللي هو الافعال العاديه زي eat و leave و drink وكده دي افعال عاديه اساسيه. لا يا اما استخدم فيها في السؤال يا اما استخدم did في الماضي do او does في present and so on. okay. So بستخدم do او does او did. So Anna likes Madrid. okay. So ده في لو بصيت على الزمن ده الاقي present simple. So present simple likes يبقى هبدأ بدid. no مش هبدأ بدid عشان did في الماضي. So ببدأ بدoes أو do. طب أنا مفرد يبقى أبدأ بدoes. So does Anna like Madrid؟ Does Anna like Madrid؟ Joe left the company. left the past simple يبقى أبدأ بدid. Did Joe بعد did هجيب الفعل في المصدر. Did Joe leave the company؟ So did Joe leave the company؟ okay. So we begin other types of question with question words such as why, where, and when. okay. Question word بعد كده form of do, be, modal or auxiliary, then the subject. تعال ناخد أمثلة كده ونشوف القصة دي. She works hard. She works hard. طبعا السنتنس دي في زمن present. okay. So عايز أقول why. So why does مضارع. why does she work hard؟ طب he went away ده ماضي، يبقى when did he go away. طب they were stressed ماضي. Why were they stressed. why بجيب were في الأول كده they stressed. Question with a modal verb. To make questions with a modal verb, we put the subject after the verb. Oh, can I see you? Can I see you now? So I put the subject after the verb. بجيب الverb اللي هو can، لو أصلا I can see you. I can see you. So بجيب can في الأول. Can I see you? Would you like a coffee? So ببدأ بwould أو can بجيبها في البداية. Here we have, also some question words like what, where, when, why, and how. So in this table, we have some examples. Number one, I prepared some invoices. لو هستخدم what. So what did you do yesterday? She went to Pigeon. Where did she go? They learned about it on a Friday. When did they learn about it? Okay, so they learned past اهو. So when بستخدم when بعد كده did with subject, then learn in the infinitive. She needs a holiday. ده مضارع بقى. So why does she need a holiday? She gets مضارع. How does she get? وقلنا بعد did و does و do الكلام ده كله، لو نلاحظ كده شايفين الصف ده كله did does can anything، بجيب ارجع الفعل التاني فين في المصدر اهو do go learn and so on. Yeah, she gets on very well. How does she get? It costs a lot of money. Sorry, here it costs s. There is a missing s here عشان it مفرد. It costs a lot of money. So how much? Sorry, yeah. في ال past simple, yeah. هي الverb cost guys بيكون cost يعني ال present بتاعه cost والماضي cost. لو في المضارع بقول it costs بحط ال s واقول a lot of money. طيب في الماضي it cost بس a lot of money اللي هو التصريف الثاني من cost برضه. So it cost a lot of money. How much did the machine cost? I see my suppliers once a month. How often do you see your supplier? I can do it next week. Do مضارع. Okay, but في can. I can. So when can you do it? He was happy. Why was he happy? هنا بقول لك be careful not to use two past forms in the same sentences. بمعنى أقول where did you stay، ما أقولش where did you stayed عشان عندي did هنا ماضي، ما ينفعش أستخدم التانية ماضي. Okay, so where did you stay? Be careful with the word order. يعني ما أقولش where did stay you، لا where did وبعد كده subject you وبعد كده stay الverb. Okay, here we have an article. So read this article, ignoring the missing information, then write the questions to complete the quiz on page 71. I mean the next slide, guys. Use the article to help you. طيب هنا في article مقال كده عن Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, guys, Apple with Steve Jobs and so on, right? He's very famous. الارتكل ده عن ستيف جوبز. في الارتكل ده ميسنج بارتس، ف هنسيب الميسنج بارتس دلوقتي، بس just read the article وبعد كده هنروح نكمل الكويستشنز في in this page in this slide. اوكي، الكويستشن دي معلومات عن ستيف جوبز اللي هنلاقيها في الارتكل ده. So please you can pause the video now and read this article. Okay. Well, so here we have some choices, okay, like in California, in Portland, Oregon, and in Chicago. In California, Portland, Oregon, and in Chicago. So السؤال هيكون ايه؟ المعلومات دي موجودة عندنا في الارتكل. اوكي لو احنا قارين الارتكل. So where was Steve Jobs born؟ لو انا رجعت كده بالارتكل اوكي هقول he was born on February 24 1955 في مكان من دول اوكي من الثلاث اماكن دول اللي هو يا اما كاليفورنيا او بورتلاند او شيكاغو. well so السؤال هيكون where was Steve Jobs born؟ متى اين هو ولد؟ اوكي اين ولد ستيف جوبز؟ where was Steve Jobs born؟ اوكي طيب في اكسرسايز بعد ده هنجاوب نشوف ولد فين في دول، هنختار كاليفورنيا ولا بورتلاند ولا شيكاغو، بس فيرست هنحط بس الاسئله للاجابات دي. طيب number 2 a manager at um, Hewlett Packard his father his friend Steve Wozniak. طب انا عايز ارجع للمعلومات اللي في لو احنا جبنا سؤال هنلاقيه who did Jobs start Apple with؟ هو بدأ شركة ابل مع مين من دول؟ اوكي so هنلاقي كده Jobs started Apple with وسايب المكان فاضي عشان نختاره. so هقول السؤال who did okay yes who did Jobs start Apple with؟ طيب انتوا هترجعوا بس للمقال عشان بس ما نرجعش بكل شوية to save the time. so in 1980 1982 1984 لو رحنا طب اوكي again اهو so حاجة حصلت كده في عام من الأعوام دول. so the question is when did Apple introduce the famous Macintosh computer؟ فإمتى في دول؟ the next question can you guess the next question guys؟ because of يبقى هنبدأ ب why right؟ bad health a great job offer disagreement with the CEO John Sculley. Back to the article. Jobs left Apple because so the question هيقول ايه؟ why did Jobs leave Apple؟ why did Jobs leave Apple؟ why did Jobs leave Apple؟ because of bad health ولا a great job offer؟ كان عنده صحة سيئة صحته كانت تعبانة، ولا كان في great job offer كان عنده عرض أفضل من شركة تانية مثلا، ولا disagreement with the CEO ولا كان في مشكلة أو مش متوافق مع الرئيس التنفيذي. Number 5 music computer animation computer software. يبقى ايه السؤال؟ what did Pixar specialize in؟ كان متخصص في ايه؟ Pixar كان متخصص في ايه بالظبط؟ now you can listen and check your answers.
Unit 7. People. Track 5. 1.
Where was Steve Jobs born?
2.
Who did Jobs start Apple with?
3.
When did Apple introduce the famous Macintosh computer?
4.
Why did Jobs leave Apple?
5.
What did Pixar specialize in?
Okay, great. So
6.
let's go to number 6, guys. Yeah, here we have Melinda, Patricia, and Lawrence. So دي أسماء أشخاص، أسماء يعني دي أسماء لبنات يعني أوكي. So لو احنا رجعنا الارتكل هنلاقي you know Jobs married his wife كذا space هنا هيقول اسم his wife. So the question is what's the question guys؟ who did Jobs marry؟ هو جوبز تزوج مين؟ اوكي طيب number 7 عندي $4 million to sorry $400 million, $200 million, and $600 billion. So the question, how much did Apple pay for Next؟ هنلاقيها في الارتكل. لو رجعنا الارتكل هنلاقي how much did Apple pay for Next. Something in March 2011, August 2011, October 2011. ده في كده حاجة تاريخ. اوكي، يبقى ده بدأ ب when. So when did Steve Jobs resign as CEO of Apple؟ امتى هو resign بمعنى يتقاعد؟ امتى تقاعد ساب الشغل as CEO كمدير كرئيس تنفيذي لشركة أبل؟ طيب بعد كده عندي 50 و 56 و 65. How old was Steve Jobs when he died؟ لما مات كان عنده كام سنة؟ And then we have Tim Cook, Jonathan Ive, and Phil Schiller. So who is Apple's new CEO؟ بعد ما مات هو، أو بعد ما ساب الرئيس التنفيذي للشركة، مين اللي مسك الشغل الجديد، أو مين حاليا في الوقت الحالي سوري اللي هو الرئيس التنفيذي؟ Who is Apple's new CEO? And last question, more than، وعندي أرقام هنا. So how many people does Apple employ worldwide؟ كم من الأشخاص اللي أبل بتشغلهم من جميع أنحاء العالم؟ So please listen and check your answers.
Unit 7. People. Track 5. 1.
How much did Apple pay for Next?
5. 6.
Who did Jobs marry?
7.
How much did Apple pay?
7.
How much did Apple pay for Next?
8.
When did Steve Jobs resign as CEO of Apple?
9.
How old was Steve Jobs when he died?
10.
Who is Apple's new CEO?
11.
How many people does Apple employ worldwide?
Okay, great. So let's move to the next slide. So you now listen and check the questions you wrote. So you did that. Answer the question in the quiz above and use the answers to complete the article on page 70. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, guys. Here, okay, where was Steve Jobs born؟ هناخد نفس الأسئلة اللي معانا وهنجاوب عليها. So where was Steve Jobs born؟ okay، فهو ولد فين؟ in California ولا Portland ولا Chicago؟ So yes, in California. Number 2, who did Jobs start Apple with? Yes, with his friend Steve Wozniak. Number 3, when did Apple introduce the famous Macintosh computer? When? Yeah. Yes, in 1984. And why did Jobs leave Apple? Because of, yeah, disagreements with the CEO. And number 5, what did Pixar specialize in? In computer animation. Who did Jobs marry? تزوج مين? Yes, Lawrence. How much did Apple pay for Next? Yes, it's about $400 million. When did Steve Jobs resign as CEO of Apple? Exactly in August 2011. How was Steve Jobs when he died? How old was Steve Jobs when he died؟ كان عمره كام لما مات؟ كان عنده 56. And who is Apple's new CEO? It's Tim Cook. And how many people does Apple employ worldwide? It's 46,500. Okay. Let's move to the next slide, guys. We have in the skills dealing with problems, التعامل مع المشكلات. So now we can discuss which of these suggestions you agree with. When two people try to solve a problem, لما عندي يكون في عندي اتنين من الناس عايزين يحلوا المشكلة. It's a good idea for them to بيكون أفضل فكرة جيدة ليهم إنهم يعملوا الآتي. Describe the problem in detail. ولا يعني يوصفوا المشكلة بالتفصيل ولا show strong feelings يعني يكون عندهم أو يظهروا مشاعر مثلا قوية give reasons if they have to say no يعطوا أسباب لما يقولوا لأ speak quietly يتكلموا بهدوء ولا find a solution immediately يجدوا حلولا أو حل سريع okay so now again you're gonna answer these questions according to your perspective على حسب رؤيتك للموضوع. Okay, here we have Julian works for a coffee importing company. شركة توريد قهوة okay استيراد قهوة. So he is talking to officer manager the office manager المدير Hannah Butler بيتكلم معاها listen and answer these questions. So what does Julian want the company to do? هو عايز الشركة تعمل له إيه؟ What does Hannah suggest to solve the problem? وهي هانا اقترحت إيه عشان تحل المشكلة؟ And does Hannah offer to give Julian any money? هل هي عرضت عليه إنه تديله أي فلوس? So please listen and answer these three questions.
Unit 7. People. Track 7.
I'd really like to attend this evening course in Spanish, Hannah. It's important for me. I get calls every day from our suppliers in Colombia and Argentina. Sometimes it's difficult to understand what they are saying. I need to know more Spanish for my job, but I don't have enough money to pay for the classes.
Look, I'm really sorry, Julian. The problem is, we don't have enough money to pay for language courses. It's a difficult time for us at the moment. We have to cut costs. And if we pay for your course, everyone will want to go on a course.
Okay, I understand the problem. Perhaps you could give me a little money towards the cost of the course. It would help me a lot.
I'm sorry, Julian. It's just not possible. Why don't you buy one of those self-study courses in Spanish? They're cheap, and you can improve your Spanish a lot if you study hard. I think you should visit the shopping centre. There's a special promotion at the moment for self-study language courses.
Really? Okay, I'll do that. Will the company pay for a self-study course if I buy one?
I can't promise anything, Julian, but bring the receipt to me and I'll see what I can do for you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, great, guys. So the first one, what does Julian want the company to do? Yes. Yeah, he wants the company to pay for his Spanish language lessons. So بياخد a Spanish course or Spanish lesson. So he wants the company to pay for him يدفعوا له ثمن الكورس ده. What does Hannah suggest to solve the problem? عشان تحل مشكلة هي اقترحت ايه؟ Yes, she suggests he should buy a self-study course. كان ممكن يشتري self-study course بدل ما يروح الكورس يشتري الكتب أو self-study course يذاكره مثلا من الإنترنت أو كده وما يدفعش الفلوس يعني دي كلها. Does Hannah offer to give Julian any money? هل هي عرضت أو عليه إنها تديله أي فلوس؟ No, but she tells him to bring her the receipt for his course. هي قالت ما عرضتش عليه أي فلوس لكن قالت له إنه ممكن يعني يجيب لها الريسيت عشان وهي تشوف ممكن تعمل إيه. Okay, so then we have the next one, in the next slide here. Okay, we have an exercise. We're gonna discuss it in the live discussion on Wednesday. So we're gonna listen to this part and fill in these gaps. Well, last thing in this lecture, as usual we have the case study. Tell us about it. Tell us about it ده عنوان كده على اللي هي اسم هنا عايد على المشكلة، بيقول يعني أخبرنا عن مشكلتك. So office workers share their problems and offer solution. الاوفيس وركرز العملاء اللي هم العمال share their problems، بيشاركوا مشاكلهم، وكمان بيوفر solutions، ممكن حد تاني يعني يعرض حل أو يقترح حل. So الباك a magazine، دي مجلة اسمها Business Today has a message board on its website. في المجلة دي جزء كده في اللي اسمه message board called Office Life، اسمه Office Life. People who have problems at work can leave messages there. اللي عندهم مشاكل في الشغل بتاعهم بيسيبوا المسجز in this corner كده، اوكي. Either online or by phone، ممكن online يبعتوا رسائل messages أو by phone. Readers comment on the problems and give advice about how to solve them. يبقى عندي readers قراء بعد كده يعني يعملوا comments، يعني يعلقوا على مشاكلهم ويدوهم نصايح، يقترحوا حلول للمشاكل دي. So read the problems and discuss the questions below. يبقى عندي هنا اهو two problems here من سوزانا ومن توماس عن مشاكل الشغل بتاعهم. read the problems and discuss the question below. How can Susanna deal with the problem؟ إزاي ممكن سوزانا يعني تتعامل مع المشكلة بتاعتها؟ Do you agree with Thomas that it's not fair، إنه مش عادل اللي حصل في الشغل بتاعه؟ هل أنت توافق مع توماس بالكلام ده؟ Okay, so in the next slide, so working pairs discuss the problems and decide what each person should do to solve them. إنه كده مثلا في اللايف discussion ممكن ناخد كده اتنين مع بعض discuss the problems، تناقشوا ايه المشاكل بتاعة توماس و and the next one I think اللي هي سوزانا and decide what each person should do to solve them. اقترحوا كده حلول على الشخصين دول عشان يحلوا المشاكل بتاعتهم بتاعت الشغل. Okay, so we're gonna do this in the live discussion. Okay, so until this time, so please be happy, and if you have some questions, please prepare your questions and ask me in the live discussion. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next time, inshallah. Thank you so much.